Hi everybody, today we're making the national dish of Saudi Arabia. We're making kabsa. Kabsa is a deliciously fragrant rice and meat dish. I already have a chicken kabsa and prawn kabsa or shrimp kabsa on my channel, and I received many requests for the mutton kabsa. So here's the recipe. Hope you enjoy it. First, let's take a look at the ingredients. You will need half a cup of garlic that has been sliced into these flakes lengthwise like this. 1 large piece of ginger, which will make about 1½ tablespoons once chopped. You need 1 cup of sliced onions. It can be red onion or yellow onion. 1 cup of tomatoes that have been chopped. I like to use half fresh tomatoes and half canned tomatoes for this. You will also need 1 to 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, a sprig of fresh mint leaves, 2 dried limes that can be black or yellow. This is a very important ingredient in the kabsa. And for the Kabsa spice mix, we need ½ teaspoon of ground cinnamon, ½ teaspoon of ground green cardamom, ½ teaspoon of ground fennel seeds, ½ teaspoon of red chili powder, ½ teaspoon of red chili flakes, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/8 teaspoon of cumin powder, and 2 teaspoons of coriander powder. Notice that we're using all ground powders, and if you're using whole spices, use a lesser quantity and grind them all together. You will need 4 cups of basmati rice that has been soaked in water for no more than 10 minutes and then drained well and set aside. You will need a 1/4 cup of oil, vegetable oil, as well as around 5 tablespoons of clarified butter or ghee, and the following whole spices: 2 sticks of cinnamon, 4 cardamom pods, 4 to 5 cloves, a 1/4 teaspoon of black peppercorns, and 2 bay leaves. You will also need 2 teaspoons of lime juice, 6 1/4 cups of water at room temperature, and salt to taste. And mutton, we will need 800 to 900 grams of good quality mutton. Indian prime mutton is the best, with bone and some fat. Now traditionally larger chunks of meat is used, but I prefer small to medium sized pieces. To the thoroughly rinsed and drained mutton pieces, add 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of salt. Rub well to marinate the meat well. Set aside for 10 minutes. And then I like to pre-cook the mutton till 3/4 done. This ensures that the mutton is cooked tender while the rice is not overcooked when cooked together. In order to pre-cook the mutton, add the mutton that has been marinated for 10 minutes with turmeric and salt into a pressure cooker with very little water, just enough for cooking the mutton. Cook on a low to medium heat till you hear 2 steam whistles. There should be little or no gravy left. If you do have gravy left, you can measure it and subtract this amount from the water used later for cooking the rice and mutton together. Set aside the partially cooked mutton. If your pressure cooker does not make whistle sounds, I suggest cooking under pressure for 5 minutes. Check that the meat is partially tender in any case. So here we can see the mutton that has been cooked in this method. It's partially tender. It still requires a short amount of cooking time to be completely tender. So to make the kabsa, first you want to fry the garlic flakes. Heat the oil, about 1/4 to ½ a cup of oil in a small pan, and add the garlic that has been sliced into these thin flakes. You want to fry the garlic until it's golden brown in color. Now at first it may seem like it's taking some time for the garlic to turn golden, but once it does start to turn color, it will burn very easily, so watch this carefully. As soon as it's golden brown, remove from the oil and set aside. So once you set aside the garlic flakes, you want to strain the oil and add to a pressure cooker. We're also going to add a tablespoon of ghee. Once this heats up, you can add your sliced onion and allow it to sweat a little. After the onions have sweat for a brief amount of time, add the chopped ginger and saute until fragrant. Now the onions and ginger is nicely fragrant, we're going to add the chopped tomato. I do like to add half amount of fresh tomato as well as half amount of canned tomato for best flavor. Stir in the tomato paste as well. Continue cooking while stirring till the tomatoes are mashed and reduced to a pulp. This should take 1 to 2 minutes on a medium flame with constant stirring. All the moisture from the tomatoes should be evaporated and the oil should separate. At this stage, we can add the fried garlic flakes. Do reserve some for the final garnish. Stir well, allowing to soften and to flavor the sauce. Now we can add the powdered Kabsa spices and stir till aromatic. Add the fresh mint leaves and stir till wilted. We're also going to add the dried black or yellow limes. Now, this is an essential ingredient for the kabsa. I have made these cuts in the middle of the lime to release more flavor and aroma. Now we're going to tip in our par-cooked mutton that has been previously cooked with the turmeric and salt. Traditionally, larger chunks are used, but I prefer the smaller pieces. Once the mutton is added, toss thoroughly but gently to coat the mutton with the sauce ingredients. At this stage, you want to remove the pressure cooker from the burner and place a non-stick pan in its place. To this, add 4 tablespoons of clarified butter or ghee and heat. To the hot ghee, add the whole spices: cinnamon, black peppercorns, cloves, green cardamom, and bay leaves. I have forgotten to add the bay leaves at this stage. I do add them later. Add the drained basmati rice and fry gently to coat the grains with the spiced ghee. You want the grains just to be coated and slightly changed in color. You don't want to overstir the grains or they tend to break. Return the pressure cooker to heat. Once the mutton has been reheated through, add the fried rice on top. Add 6 1/4 cups of room temperature water and salt, about 3 1/2 teaspoons here. Remember that the mutton has already been cooked with some salt. Stir from the bottom of the cooker once or twice only. Do not overmix. Now we can add the lime juice and close the pressure cooker. Cook on a medium to high heat for about 10 minutes under pressure. Turn off the pressure cooker and allow to cool off on its own for about 5 minutes. After that, release any steam manually by gently lifting the pressure regulator. Open and check that all the water has been absorbed. If not, you might require a minute or more of cooking under pressure. The rice will look wet initially, but that's okay. It will be perfect upon sitting for a while. Now here, after 10 minutes, my rice is cooked perfectly. You can see how moist and delicious looking the grains are. It smells really good too. Gently fluff up the rice immediately from the bottom of the pot so that it does not overcook in the residual steam in the pot. Don't overmix it. You can see the bottom of the cooker here, no rice burnt on the bottom of the pot, and it's cooked perfectly. Remove the rice to a serving platter. Garnish with toasted nuts like pine seeds and almonds. You can also garnish with the likes of egg, cucumber, or tomato. Don't forget to add the crispy fried garlic flakes that we had reserved earlier. Kabsa is often served with a tomato-based cooked salsa called dakus or a Middle Eastern hot sauce called shatta. Also good with yogurt and cucumber. We hope you will try this easy recipe for our Saudi Arabian kabsa. For the recipe details, please visit the link in the description. Enjoy and thanks for watching. Catch you next time.